Is Alberto Puello in trouble now that the ring is going to be reportedly 18 square foot instead of the 20-foot ring that he's used to? Welcome back to Boxing on Rap. I'm Emmett, the artist. If you're new here, thank you for choosing this video. And if you're an older subscriber, thank you for the continued support. Now, you know about the petition about the no running rule and all that other stuff, even though those rules already exist and are already in play, they just have to be enforced. But okay, let's just get over that. So Turki Al-Sheikh has come out publicly and said he is not endorsing these fights anymore. He's not gonna put up money for fighters who want to do this kind of running around the ring and avoid the fight, right? That's called timidity. That's the rule. Unsportsmanlike conduct is also implicated and to be the same rule, right? So he's saying, well, I'm going to remedy this. I'm going to make the ring smaller for my fight. It's going to be 18 square foot. It's going to be the actual reported fight ring size. But the problem is people think that's going to cause some sort of discourse. Well, it isn't and it isn't. But particularly there's been a narrative going around the interwebs that the Puello fight versus Matias is going to be a thing because Puello can't run away from Matias, right? Puello's going to have to stand there and fight. Well, I had to brush it to you. Puello is not a runner. And I'm going to show it to you. I rewatched the entire fight between him and Russell. Russell came in at 17-17, meaning he had 17 wins, 0 losses, and 17 knockouts. He had a 100% knockout ratio. Puello actually stood in the pocket with him and moved around. We're going to take a look at that real quick. So we're going to analyze that real fast. And that was a 20-foot ring. But he might as well just fought in an 18-foot ring. It wouldn't have mattered. His movement, his way he moves his feet is way different than how Skull and Haney move their feet, right? They actually circle around the ring. They run around. They jab and they want to move away from the fighter. Whereas Puello doesn't do that. He kind of stays in the pocket and moves around. He counters a lot. And he has good hand speed. So it's not the same thing. So the narrative that he's going to be in trouble because he can't get away from Matias is going to be, it's kind of wrong one. But let's go over there and we'll take a quick look. But first, real quick, now, if you notice down in the link down below, you're going to probably see my store link to it. It's going to have like cartoon characters, my logo on there, t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, magnets, anything you can get. This is the store itself. You can go in there. There's some really old designs like this design. And this design for some reason sells a whole lot. These are really old, years and years and years old. This sells a lot. That sells. And this one I just put new, and this one is new. So I'm going to put more things up there. It's not just going to be boxing related. It's going to be also just like my own creations and also things that I'm inspired by. And I'll also try to do some boxing inspired by artwork up there. I don't use AI. I do my own thing. I draw by hand and then I upload. And sometimes I color by hand. Sometimes I color digitally. So, but it's all by me. I don't use AI. I don't use filters, none of that stuff when it creates my artwork. All right. So if you would please, if you don't want to do any sort of super chats or anything like that, you can go ahead and pick up something. I don't get the whole thing. I get a portion of it, so it helps out. Okay, so now that that's out the way, let's go back to this. So this is between Russell and Puello. So let's analyze this. So this is them labeling Puello as a runner. I don't see Puello running here. And this was a razor thin fight. It wasn't a blowout in either way. Although one judge had it a blowout for Antoine, and also he knocked the braids loose on this dude. They could have been braided tight, but I mean loose. But point is, for round one, braids was out. But at the end of the fight, they were all out. And you're gonna see here, Puello does not run around the ring. He doesn't utilize the outside ropes, and he doesn't bounce off them and get on the track star. He kind of moves around the opponent. He likes to throw a nice counter, so he's a counter punch on top of that. And he has an inside game, and he has quick hands. This is what I keep telling you guys. Matias might be in trouble because Matias's style of fighting is he comes forward, and he drops his hands. And he likes to move in. He doesn't have great head movement. And Puello has a really good body attack also. Now, does Matias hit harder than Gary Russell? Probably. But we'll see. He also dropped Antoine Russell with a body shot that was called a foul, but it wasn't on the replays, right on the belt line. It dropped that boy. But let's keep looking. Look. At this point, Haney was all around that ring. Puello standing in the pocket, putting his lead foot inside, kind of measuring the distance, throwing his left and right hooks. He was not afraid to let his hands go with Gary Antoine Russell. Now, again, you're going to say that Matias is a power puncher, punches harder than Gary, Antoine Russell. Might be the case, but at this point in time, he has 17-17. So we can make the argument that they punch just as hard as each other. Actually, I could say that the more skill sets Russell has, more skill sets than Matias. Matias is sort of a one-dimensional fighter in some respects. Again, I'm trying to disrespect Matias, and I'm trying to make all the fan base of mine and of Matias hurt. But I'm gonna say it like it is. If you put them both together, there's more in the bag of Russell than there is in Puello. That doesn't mean that styles don't make fights and that one can always beat the other. But you understand what I'm saying, right? Now here you go. You see that hand speed? Look. You see the varied hand speed? Up, down, up, upstairs, downstairs. Then he moves away, but he doesn't run. Whoop, slip the punch, circles back out, and stands in the middle of the ring. That's not running. You don't need a 20-foot ring for what he just did. You could do it on an 18-foot ring. The only difference is now, and Tim Bradley actually alluded to this in one of his lives, is the ring fast or slow? Meaning, is the padding on the ring plushy, which makes it slow, or is it tight, which makes it fast? If you're a mover, kind of like Puello, you benefit from not having a soft ring. Why? Because that you can't run as fast. You're gonna get tired. Whereas now Matias, if he's the power puncher, he can get a lot more torque because he can cement his feet. You understand? So really, it's how fast or slow the ring is. Really, is the more important part rather than how big or small it is. If you're not if you're a bicyclist, then yeah, the 20-foot ring will benefit you. Now you see here, the Wasp is just moving it back. 1, 2, 1, 2, and he moves out, and he's just staying within distance. He's not running, he's not circling. He's not even circling him on his bicycle. Right there, okay, boom, and then he stands right back. Whereas Haney Skull just kept running around the ring. It's a big difference. That's called a timidity rule. The unwillingness to exchange, unsportsmanlike conduct. Again, commissions already had this in place. Boom. Good left. Boom, boom. Right, left, right hook. Instead of you see the slipping. Russell couldn't catch him because he was slipping punches well. Again, he's circling to his right. He's not running. Look, fighting off the ropes. Holding when needs to. This is all right there, right? Haney didn't do any of this or Skull right there. Just what I just paused it on. This never happened. You see that? That's not running. And got caught flush and nothing happened. So Puello might have a chin. Right? Might have a chin. So we don't know. I kind of do know. If Antoine Russell is a puncher, but Puello has a chin because he got him flush a few times. Russell was holding behind the head and hitting. He is punching with the puncher, which you don't want. Look at this exchange right here in the 12th. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be able to do this with Matias because Matias might be a different monster, a horse of a different color, as they say. Boom, boom. They didn't show the low blow, but it wasn't. It was actually should have been the call of knockdown because he actually hit him on the belt line, and Antoine went down. Again, it was a razor-thin fight. Russell, younger than Matias, comes from a line of fighters. The ring size ain't going to be the problem. It's not going to be a problem if they use the 18-foot ring as it being reported. It's not going to be a problem for Puello is what I'm trying to say. It might be, the problem that's going to be is going to be on the side of Matias because he's going to have to work on his head movement. Puello has really good hand speed. He might not have the power, but he has enough power to keep you honest, and he can outwork you, kind of like what Paro did to Matias. So, I think Puello is better than Paro, and that's where I have my doubts at. But I'm hoping that Matias can pull it off. But let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? That is Puello a runner? Does a smaller ring benefit, Matias, or is it a non-factor? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'm out. Peace.